Aang vs. Ozai was the best final battle in cartoon history. Ever debate, I don't care. We open up in the middle of Sozin's comet, and we see Ozai ore farming at the front of his airship. He takes one good deep breath and charges up a fire missile and proceeds to torch everything that was in front of him. And this dude looks more happier than your homie when he tells you your shorty's going whilst in the middle of committing a terroristic act. And the camera pans over the angle on his rock. Hold up, what? Yo, cameraman getting them angles. Hold up, you getting them right. Boy, not to mention, my boy looking over serious, and he popped on a new fit. All right, Momo, you gotta leave out. These fair ones, not jumping. And he also takes a deep breath and sends out 3 giant rocks towards Sozin's airship. And then he sends out a giant ass fire blast and takes down the airship. And Ozai did not mess with that at all. He takes off his full fit and charges that buddy. You know a nigga mad when he takes off his full fit just to run a fade.
You know how crazy that is? My whole family have been looking for you for 100 years, and somehow I'm the first one to be lucky enough to finally catch your bald ass.
You don't need to cause all this destruction. We can sort all this out with our words and not violence.
Man, shut that shit up, nigga. Put your fucking hands up and box.
And he sends a wave of fire towards Aang, but he dodges it and sends a big ass rock towards him. No lie, at the start of the fight, Aang was on the defensive shit. He was just leaving and running. And they get by this waterfall, and Aang hits his ass with a drive-by splash of water. That shit must have made him even more mad, because this nigga was on his ass. Like, yo, peep this. Aang hides behind his rock pillar to dodge a fire blast. And Ozai comes out of the cut doing moves that he ain't never done before. Aang ends up suiting up in his rock armor to take some more fire blasts. And wanna know what Sozin does when he realizes fire ain't working? He pops out with lightning. And gang, you gotta keep in mind, his firebending is still being boosted by Sozin's comet. So how strong do you think his lightning is? And after a whole bunch of running, Aang finally catches one of Sozin's lightning bolts. And him doing that had that nigga looking scared. Blood was flabbergasted at the thought of somebody being able to catch lightning other than his son or his brother. And with Poe literally up to his dome, Aang decides to aim a little bit to the right so he could miss him and let this nigga live. And him making that dumbass decision led to Sozin making him a homemade sauna. This nigga was torching the fuck out of his shit. He was trying to cremate him. Like, gang, look, he sends out multiple fire blasts and just starts unloading on this nigga. And he breaks through the rocks, and the force from his blast sends Aang straight into a rock that pierces his back. And we get probably a top 1 scene / meme from this show, gang. Beat this shit right here. Ah, what a classic. Now, Nick and Paramount, don't take my kids or my house. Leave me alone.
Man, you gotta be dead after that.
And he comes out of the rubble ready for smoke, glowing eyes, glowing tattoos and all. And he hits Ozai with something devious. Ozai tries to hit him with a fire chop. He proceeds to disarm him and hits him with an air blast so hard that it replayed 3 different times.
Must have got ran the street. Knock, big beam home.
He starts making a sphere of elements to surround him. And he flies into Ozai and he proceeds to hit him with a gust of wind so hard it sends him flying. And my boy is not letting up on this nigga at all. He's moving whole rock pillars to cut him off from running. Wait, hold up. This nigga's running. Wasn't he just talking over spicy before he went into the Avatar state? This nigga had big gorilla nuts at the start of the fight. Boy, when Aang locked in, this nigga want to turn into a bitch. Nigga was talking over spicy before the fight, and during the fight was applying the most amount of pressure. Now he running. Niggas turn into pups when a big dog come around.
Oh, brother, this guy
Too much?
stinks!
Alright, Aang hits him with another splash of water and proceeds to bust through the wall like he's the Kool-Aid man. He really had Ozai in a mental blender, gang. He tries to throw out an attack. Aang goes right through it and tries to slam on top of him. Ozai tries to get out another attack and not go out like a little girl. Aang blocks it with 2 big boulders and then shows him what true firebending looks like. He sends out a barrage of heat-seeking fireball missiles. Aang gets rid of all 3 of his attacks with only 3 small droplets of water and sends out the equivalent of an F5 tornado towards him. And that John tore through this rock pillar. He starts getting tired of all this running that he's doing, so he grabs him by his leg and slams him on the rocks and gets prepared to execute this nigga. And he charges up his final attack, the attack this whole show has been building up to. Fire Lord Ozai, say your goodbyes. But he puts down the gun. He chooses peace over violence and spares his life for a second time. I spared you because killing you would do nothing for the situation.
You really is naive. You think just because you spared me, I'm not gonna hurt you? Bitch, I'm on your ass.
But Aang activates this world version of Spider Sense / Ultra Instinct and blocks his first attack, counters his second, and brings him down to his level and starts taking his bending. And for a nigga like Fire Lord Ozai to lose his bending, that's like a fate worse than death, I ain't gonna lie. Gang lost all his motion. And Aang uses his water bending to clean up all the fire. They saved, girl got, and bang bang boom, an amazing show comes to an end. Yeah, what's the word, y'all? I ain't finna hold y'all up, don't worry. Hey, I know y'all busy. Just have to go ahead, hit y'all with some smooth, calm, real, trill, short shit. Go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what y'all want to see in the comments below. Go ahead, follow my Instagram and TikTok, boldly in the description below. And yeah, without further ado, game That match.